Riding up to Vermont, I was getting really excited, but look, I was admittedly a little nervous. Would I be able to hold my own at my own motorcycle rally in front of a bunch of strangers? Then it dawned on me. To paraphrase Yeats and Will Rogers, strangers were just friends I hadn't met yet. If they were into motorcycling just as much as I was, how could I go wrong? At that point, I was beginning to lose myself in the turns and the twisties of the road. My mind was starting to clear. Pretty soon, my fears, they had vanished. That's one of the reasons why I ride. By the time I reached Brattleboro, I blew past the distillery and pulled a Yui. Maybe having a little Dutch courage on hand at the rally might not be a bad idea after all. We're talking about sampling whiskey and rye, and you know me, there's no way I'm gonna pass that up.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
I'm Seth Diamond with Food Biker.
Oh, nice to meet you. Christian Stromberg, Saxtons River Distillery.
I saw the sign, I had to pull over, whiskey, bourbon, that's it. But maple, you have no idea, I'm a maple fiend.
Oh, good.
So
You're in the right place.
Good? I mean, this is Vermont after all, right?
Oh, no. In fact, by law, we have to put maple in all our products, or cheese, either one.
So show me what you got. Now this is made from, seriously, this is made from maple.
These are all, we have a number of various maple flavored products at this point. The original is the maple liqueur.
Okay.
This sort of developed, my family had a history of making cordials.
Really?
But they're all honey background.
Okay.
So I'm not a huge fan of honey. And being in Vermont, this has been almost 7 years now. There wasn't anything else on the market, so I said, why not? So after a lot of experimentation, finally kind of hit on a recipe that people are always expecting that it's going to be like a shot of pancake syrup, and it isn't.
There's a fake maple flavor that's out there.
And now there's starting to be a number of products that claim to be maple, and I can immediately tell. I've been around maple long enough that the aroma coming out of there is from a plant in New Jersey rather than.
No offense with New Jersey,
That a really overpowering aroma, that's not real maple. Maple's far more subtle, which is why we use a lot of it. A third of this bottle is maple syrup. All grade A, all local sugar makers.
All right, let's see what this is all about.
All right, that's the only way to know is to try.
All right.
And you don't have to finish all that.
Okay, well I am riding, so that's the type of thing, gotta make sure you're careful about that. Oh man, I have friends at home that can be very, very jealous of me with this. This is fantastic.
I want them to be jealous.
So because this is a liqueur, what is the alcohol?
It's 35%.
Wow.
Yeah. Now this is on the level of European cordials, which tend to be 70 to 80 proof.
Okay.
I mean, all the well-known
little bit more
European cordials they're real alcohol. They're so if you put a shot of this in your coffee, you're not adding, oh, and I want a little liquor with it too. No, it's got the liquor too.
I see. Wow, that's great. Can't fake that. So what do we have here?
So this is our new maple bourbon.
Okay.
So the whole sapling line is all about maple. So that's why it's sapling maple bourbon versus the sapling maple liqueur.
Oh wow.
So it's a 5-year-old bourbon.
What do you age? New oak?
They were.
What was New oak?
They're now 5 years old.
Okay. 5-year-old oak.
Right. Now, and then everything after blending, it all goes back into the barrels for the secondary aging, which, really helps make it one cohesive flavor.
That is so smooth. That is really smooth.
That's what we try.
Now, how would you explain to viewers about the difference between rye and bourbon?
Bourbon is, by definition, bourbon has to be a minimum of 51% corn. This is 95% corn.
Okay.
And then a rye is then predominantly dry. So this is actually a straight rye as well.
Okay.
Not straight anymore because they have maple in it, but that's, and the result is a completely different flavored whiskey.
I see.
They're not, very little overlap in what people think of. And now this is the rye. Now there's getting a lot more traction. You're seeing a lot more rye. It had basically just about disappeared for a while yet. Most classic whiskey drinks are based on rye.
Exactly.
And in a lot of ways, this is similar to a rock and rye. The rock was sugared.
Sure.
But we don't have rock, it's maple syrup. Again, it's Vermont. And if you have a maple whiskey, it should be coming out of this state.
Let's see. So, I mean, the thing with rye usually has a bit more bite to it,
It has a bit of bite, a pepperiness, but the maple really cuts that down. So in a lot of ways, this is a good introduction to rye for some people.
Oh, so this is going to kind of smooth out the rough edges.
It does smooth it out quite a bit. Because some rye can be rather overpowering. And thus, when people say, "Oh, I don't like rye," well, you haven't had our rye. Our newest product that only came out a few months ago is a real kind of pure coffee liqueur. I really like coffee. We have a Mocha Joe's roaster right in Brattleboro that we get our coffee from.
Oh, so that's really local. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, you're not going to have locally
beans.
grown beans that
No.
we're in Vermont, you have locally grown maple trees.
Well, this isn't generic coffee. This is an organic Peruvian, and we did a French roast on it. So this is, I haven't found anything on the market like this. Well, I mean, in overall, we're trying to make unique products here. And I like using really good ingredients. This is fantastic.
All right, let's see. I want some vanilla ice cream. I just want to kind of just have a scoop of that and then
Maple
mudslides.
And this is one of the things, liquor is one of the things people still want American made. And they're not looking for the cheapest possible thing imported.
Sure.
We buy a lot of nice wines and liquors from Europe still, but not a lot of other things. So I felt that this, at least in this regard, I mean, we had a family background in making it, but at least I didn't have to feel like somebody's going to come out with the cheapest thing that's going to come in from offshore and undercut me. And one of the things working with maple, it's only made in North America. They tried bringing trees to Europe, it didn't work. So it's truly a North American product.
Well, part of the reason I'm doing stuff with food bikers, I really want to showcase things made in America. Well, you can't get much more American than maple. So maple syrup, maple sugar, and maple bourbon and rye. My God. Christian, thank you so much.
Thanks,
It's an
Matt.
absolute pleasure.
Appreciate you having me here.
I got to see how much space I have on the motorcycle. Otherwise, hopefully you guys ship.
We send out pallets.
Excellent. Okay. I'll have my people call your people.
Okay. I'm the people, but they'll.
Excellent.
Thank you again.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Food Biker is a part of this complete breakfast.